Marcus, thank you very much. And in my prescribed 5 minutes or less, CWRA, there is a better way. And I really need your help. I got into education technology because we saw all of this coalescing of what wasn't working and the tremendous transformative changes going on in technology, and so we really need to move the bar educationally. So I work for, are these rolling or am I just really speaking much more slowly than I thought?
It may not be working, so just tell me what you want to move.
Go. So we are actually in the midst of an education revolution. We really are. We are asking students to do more, and they're responding by doing more in greater depth, in far greater ambitions, and we're asking them to cover more competencies. And of course, we're asking all of our teachers to do this under the same kind of working model that they have always been with the same types of resources. So this is my, my poster, my dollar, my framed dollar in the diner. What do we need to do to help our students and teachers achieve this? And we need all of you who are in EdTech to help push this as well. So in 2006, Ken Robinson had his first TED Talk on creativity and what is now known as the learning revolution. Since then, we've seen the search revolution with Google, where now information is available just about anywhere, anytime, and it's not so much an effort to get the information, but how to sift through it. In addition to the search revolution, right on its heels we have the mobile revolution. The mobile technology revolution, where now we have the information at our fingertips, in our pockets, and it's also connecting us in ways through social networks in ways that were really inconceivable just a couple of years ago. So we've moved from search to mobile, and where's the next one? It's the wearable technology, where we're taking our devices from our pockets and then putting them on our body, which allows us to sync up our physical and virtual worlds and living environments as we go through life. Now, what does all of this have to do with assessment? I'm in the performance-based assessment business, and how is it, hang on, how is it that we've gone through this really earth-shattering, transformative change with technology that's affecting all of us in every part of our life, and yet we're really not moving quite as quickly in education? So, I have an idea, and it's a nonprofit organization that I work with. Before I get to the nonprofit organization, some of the great things, really revolutionary things that are happening in our classrooms are, along with the picture that I showed before, student-centered, tackling real problems, offering solutions, and making things. And this is the design thinking model from the Stanford Design School. And they're really doing great things with their mantra of failing up. If you're not familiar with design thinking, check out the D School, and I'll provide these slides for you later. Another one is PBL, Project-Based Learning. The Buck Institute has fabulous resources for teachers, again, student-centered, solving real problems, making school not preparing you for real life, but making school about real life. Next one, the Maker Movement. Again, these are all taking John Dewey's theory of learning by doing and really putting the pedal to the metal and going at warp speed, while at the same time allowing for reflection, experimentation, and really deep thought about what they're doing. So I think part of the missing piece has been a better way of demonstrating that these new models, instructional models, are really working. We're taking advantage of the technology, and our students are engaged, and we're really doing great things. So at the CWRA, our assessment is based on a real-world scenario, and it just syncs up so well with progressive instructional models and methodologies that are going on in our classrooms. So I'm going to talk about the CWRA and how we actually measure this. And performance-based approach, K-12. Right now we're testing students in middle school and high school. It's an online assessment, and what we're really getting at are a set of critical thinking skills that are really essential for living, for learning, and for working. If anybody is familiar with Tony Wagner's book, The Achievement Gap, or The Global Achievement Gap, he talks about this coalescing of skills that are just essential skills for living. Next one. All right, since we're in performance assessment, we're going to have to do a performance assessment. Everybody up. This is not a joke. Next slide. Take your index finger from your dominant hand and draw letter Q on your forehead. Capital letter Q. Okay, next slide. If your letter Q is like this one, you are a high self-monitor. What that means is you're actually very empathetic and you look at the world through other people's perspectives. And there was a great TED Talk about this that you can learn about later, but our belief at the CWRA is that the assessment process should be a learning experience in and of itself. It shouldn't be an opportunity for regurgitation, repeating, and recalling like so many of our tests are. Now, if you drew your Q like this, next slide, it means you're a low self-monitor and more apt to lie. So if you want to investigate what that means to you personally and professionally, that's a topic that I'm not prepared or qualified to talk about. So the CWRA is created, delivered, scored, and administered by the Council for Aid to Education, CAE, a nonprofit education and research organization since 1952 based in New York City. Next slide. And here is how we do it. It's a 90-minute online assessment. It is proctored. One performance task. We give students one question and there's an open-ended response that is scored by human beings. And then also 25 selected response questions that are also document-based. And we go to the next one. And this is what we're measuring. Problem solving and analysis, effective writing communication, critical reading and evaluation, scientific reasoning, and we're getting at these key skills. Do you have an affinity with charts and graphs? Do you know how to extrapolate data? And do you fall into traps about correlation versus causation? Next slide. And we're going to report out on these scores, so we're recognizing the learning that's going on in our schools. It doesn't have to be a right answer. Next slide. So we're going to do this 9th grade to 12th grade, 9th grade to 11th grade, 6th grade to 7th grade. There are a variety of ways that this can measure growth and school effectiveness. And we've also been administering this in the college level, so we have a great way of determining college readiness. Okay. Any assessment program, for it to be effective, it really has to speak directly to improving instruction. And that's really what we're all about, aligning great instruction with a successful assessment approach. And that's it. I have material in the back. I'd be happy to chat further. Thank you very, very much for the opportunity to speak with you. And we also have, I have a little QR code that if you want to take a demo of the high school performance assessment, you can go right to the website and do so. Thank you very much, Marcus.